there could be a chance that the next 2 legendary Pokemon, or one of them, will be KORAIDON or MIRAIDON from Scarlet and Violet, because Pokemon Unite was added as a part of an event between these 2 dragons. You can see right here. Previously, the Pokemon regional battle was held in 2 divisions, the game division and the card game division, but a new Pokemon Unite division has been added. Work together with your friends in a team of 5 to earn the title of the Dragon King. So MIRAIDON and KORAIDON, both part of this event. This event will be held on Sunday, February 25th, and apparently that's around as well where the Pokemon Day is, or might actually be the day on the Pokemon Day. And there's some more information right here as well. So there could be a chance that it might be playable Pokemon, or it could obviously also just be, you know, maybe something like Boss Rush or something, where both of them get added to the game. But doesn't matter what, I feel like there's just something we have to talk about when it comes to legendary Pokemon, and in general, this legendary talk discussion. Because legendary Pokemon are super, super cool, but the way Timmy has handled them is obviously not great. But I guess that's a problem maybe also from like Nintendo, or what they want. They want probably these Pokemon to be powerful, right? Because they're legendary. Same for like, you know, VGC and stuff, where legendary Pokemon are just stronger stats-wise, and doesn't matter what, that they, you know, should be supposed to be, again, the leader of these games. But obviously that just does not work in a MOBA game. We can't have a leader Pokemon. We can't have Pokemon that are just broken because of their, you know, state and what the mainline games are, right? So I want more legendary Pokemon very, very badly, but they have to find a way to make them reasonable, right? They have to find a way for it not to be another Zacian, another Mewtwo. I mean, almost every single either mythic or legendary Pokemon has been a bit too strong on release, right? We have Hoopa, we had Urshifu, Mew, Zacian, Mewtwo's, right? And you name it. And they all have been a bit too powerful. So it's always quite scary to think about what might happen in the future, because they clearly show that they want those Pokemon to be overpowered and be stronger than the rest, which just doesn't work. So I don't know what they can do, like limiting it to 1 Pokemon per team, right? 1 legendary Pokemon per team, I think is also not a great solution, because I feel like all these Pokemon should be playable, right? That's where the hype comes from. Like having Mewtwo, having Mew, having Zacian in these games is absolutely cool. Like I want to play, I don't know, Lugia or Kyogre or Groudon. Like I want to play those Pokemon. They're so cool. And they would be so hype, and it's also would get a lot of players into playing Unite. So I really hope that if they consider, you know, making more legendary Pokemon, which I hope they do, like I want them to make more legendary Pokemon. I just want them to be reasonable with it, right? Just, I mean, I get it. Yeah, they have to be strong because they are legendary Pokemon, but it really doesn't have to be like this, right? It doesn't have to be even the slightest for it to be overpowered, because it's just absolutely miserable. It ruins the game experience. But you can clearly tell that people are excited for these, because when Mewtwo came out, like the player base, I feel like increased by a good amount. Like a lot of people tried out Unite for the first time for Mewtwo. A lot of people came back for Mewtwo. And then, of course, they were kind of maybe disappointed at some point that it was like this boring of a Pokemon. Or it was too overpowered that when you played against it, it didn't really feel like, you know, it was way too exciting or something. But yeah, like the hype for legendary Pokemon are for sure there, right? We want legendary Pokemon in Unite, doesn't matter what, but they just have to be properly balanced, or find a different way. I mean, if there would only be maybe like quick battle Pokemon, that would also be quite bad, right? Let's say, you know, they make them doesn't matter what, but you can only play them in like quick matches or something, would also be terrible. So I don't know if there's a really good solution for this entire issue, if I'm being honest. I don't know what they can do. Right now, currently, if you look at the win rate table, Mewtwo X and Zacian are still the 2 highest win rate Pokemon as well. I can maybe bring that up as well, so you guys can see. Mewtwo Y has dropped a bit, but of course it's also still quite powerful. And I mean, you already know about power creep in Unite, but yeah, you can see Zacian and Mewtwo X and Mew currently. I mean, Mew is a mythical, but I mean, mythical is a subcategory of legendary, right? So currently the 3 best Pokemon in the entire game are legendaries, and I feel like it's not a good look. Then we have Hoopa right here, is also set at the top, Urshifu, Mewtwo Y. So it's quite difficult for them to be a proper balanced. I know it's not difficult for them to be proper balanced. They can be balanced, it's just that they don't want to. And I don't know whose fault is it. Is it Timmy's fault? Is it the fault of maybe Nintendo that are like, or the Pokemon Company, right? We don't know which one is the culprit for these characters to be so overpowered. If they get told, yeah, please make them overpowered, you know, they have legendary status. If Pokemon Company tells, you know, Timmy to be, you know, make them OP, they're legendary, they have to be OP. We want people to feel very powerful playing them, which I guess makes sense, but just not in a PvP multiplayer game, right? Like, and I think in VGC it's a bit different, because in VGC you don't rely on teammates, right? It's a 1 against 1. Everyone can run the same Pokemon necessarily, right, as well. So like it's a bit different. But in a team-based game, it's just absolutely terrible. But I do think in VGC as well, I mean, you know, like I think last time I watched it, there was like only legendaries played as well or something, or like the usage rate of those are very high because they're also just super powerful. But I think in VGC it's a bit different, which I think, but it's also quite lame if, you know, they make legendaries just OP because they're legendary. But I mean, I guess it's kind of the philosophy of this game. Like, yeah, that, you know, it's Pokemon, they're legendary, they have to be broken. But let me know in the comments what you think about it. I just wish it wasn't the case. But doesn't matter what, if like MIRAIDON or KORAIDON come out, I would be very hyped for them, right? It's just very cool having box art legendary. I still want, like, I don't know, Lugia, Ho-Oh, maybe as map bosses though. Of course, I want to play Latias, Latios. I want those legendary, you know, in the game. Shaman, also very cute Pokemon. So I would be very happy for them to be part of Unite. I just don't trust Timmy on, you know, making them reasonable, which is just a sad thing, because this game has so much potential. And I was worried when they started putting legendaries in, you know. Again, we already had Mythical, of course. I think the only one that kind of sucks is Zaora. But Zaora has been, I mean, he was pretty good at the start of Unite as well. So Zaora also had its time. Doesn't matter what. So, but yeah, if I have to go through like another Zacian, Mewtwo Y, Mewtwo X, I mean, this year has been very, very bad. I'm actually surprised that, you know, the player base tanked not as much as I thought it might. Because I think the game, people say Unite is dead. It doesn't feel like it. I think there's still a lot of players playing the game right now. The viewership, of course, has went down in the last month. But yeah, we had to go through like 2 or 3 months of Zacian. Then we had to go through an entire month of Mewtwo X. Then we have to go through 2 months of Mewtwo Y. In between, we also have Lapras and Umbreon, which were OP. So yeah, they also make you know, legendary Pokemon OP. So it's not just like a just legendary thing. But they clearly try to make legendaries on purposely powerful for them to be powerful, right? That you can clearly see that is on purpose. Lapras and Umbreon just turned out to be overpowered because of the stats. I don't know if they necessarily wanted them to be this overpowered, but the Pokemon in this year have been pretty insane. So if I go through the next year again, I'm gonna be very, very, very scared. Again, if we had Benson ranked at least, I would kind of fix it. Not having any Benson ranked is just a big issue, right? Because if like a broken Pokemon comes out, everyone can play it. It doesn't matter what. Which, I mean, of course, you kind of want the Pokemon that comes out that is new to be played, right? If it would just be permanently banned, then maybe they would tank profits and not everyone would actually buy the character. So it's always, of course, a weird topic. Because if a character gets banned, maybe less people buy it, less profit. And this is something, of course, you have to think about. I mean, Timmy is a company after all. But yeah, MIRAIDON and KORAIDON, if those two happen, or one of them, it would be very, very cool. Again, it could also just be a boss rush, or, you know, the event where we had like Cinder Ace against Buzzwole. I feel like it could be something similar too, but those had skins, so I'm not quite sure what exactly the part of Unite is. But it's nice that we know that there's going to be like more events coming in the future that are also part of, you know, other Pokemon games, and Unite is included still, right? The fact that Unite is included in this like Pokemon Day thing, or in this battle between those two, I think is a good sign, because lately it has been a bit of a struggle. Timmy has been posting a lot of things about their Chinese version, which is completely different to the ones we have. And it just felt like that the development on our game just has come to a kind of stop, which I don't think is necessarily true. I kind of said it as a joke back then. But, you know, it's kind of obvious to think about it, right? That, you know, they're just working on the Chinese version to bring it out as fast as possible. Of course, there's still people working on the English one as well, on our version. But yeah, it doesn't matter what. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic, about legendaries. Would you be excited for KORAIDON, MIRAIDON? And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!